All right, let's get some stuff set up. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a restful weekend. Welcome to College and Career Convos, y'all. I told you I'm gonna keep this thing going. I'm excited about today's topic. Shout out the Saints getting a win. They should have won that game. They won that game. So we'll see. I know the season is what it is at this point. I know we got slim to none chances of making the playoffs, but it's still good to see them get a win. So welcome to College and Career Convos. I'm your host Frederick Johnson the fourth, and this is really a space. I don't even know if to call it a podcast or not, but this is a space where I really want to give information to parents who really care and are invested in their child being successful in college, right? I want to talk about a bunch of different topics, and also not just college, but career. We know that some of our students are going right into the workforce, but I want to just talk about things. I want to give information. I want to kind of give you the how to. I want to break certain things down. I want to answer questions that you have. So feel free to engage. Feel free to let me know. We're gonna see how the streaming goes. I'm on like 3 different platforms. I got the Instagram up, I got YouTube up, I got Facebook up. So we're gonna kind of see how this goes. But eventually, I'm going to transition probably to one platform. That platform either being YouTube or Facebook. Probably leaning towards YouTube, so I don't have to worry about uploading these videos later. But we'll see. We'll see. So today's conversation: is your child ready for college? It's a great question. It's an awesome question. It's a question that I know students, even though they might not say it out loud, it's a question I know students ask themselves all the time. Am I ready? It's a question I ask myself, and I did pretty well in high school. Was I really ready for college? And something I always compare it to when I'm talking to students is when you graduate 8th grade, you have this idea about what high school is going to feel like, how challenging it's going to be, and then you get there, right? And you find out it's not as bad as you thought. College is kind of the same, but college is a whole different animal, right? College is a whole different animal. So today we're going to talk about college, and is your child ready for college? Are they ready for college? It's a question that has a few different things. So I got my notes and we're going to talk through it. So the first thing is I wanted to distinguish between being ready and being prepared. Being ready and being prepared. And I know you might be thinking, well, they mean the same thing. I think there's a slight difference that I wanna highlight. The difference between being ready and being prepared. So I pulled up the definition, and they both had the words ready and prepared in it, but I think there's something that distinguishes being ready versus being prepared. So being ready, the definition, if you Google it, it'll sound something like this: ready, in a suitable state for an activity, action, or situation. In a suitable state for an activity, action, or situation. And then the definition of being prepared: properly expectant, organized, or equipped. Properly expectant, organized, or equipped. And the difference that I want to highlight is the way I see being ready. Ready is more of a mindset. Ready is more of a mindset, right? Ready is more of a mindset. When I think about being prepared, it's more about the skill. It's more about the skill. So when we think about will versus skill, you can think about readiness being more about the mindset and the will, but preparedness being more about the skill. And I want to break it down and make it real simple. Let's take marriage, for example. All right, and I'm gonna use myself. Being ready versus being prepared. I met my wife in college. We've been together 14 years, married for 4 years. And I was probably ready, technically ready for marriage. I would say probably five years into our relationship. Mentally, I was ready. Mentally, I knew she was the woman I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Mentally, I was in a place where being a husband is something that I wanted. It's something that I always wanted. But in terms of being ready, there was nothing that I was fearing about becoming a husband and raising a family and having that level of responsibility. Mentally, I was locked in. Right? Mentally, I was locked in and ready to go. Right? When you move like a husband, when you're doing things like a husband already, you're ready to be a husband, right? And I know there might be others out there that may be seeking marriage or maybe hesitating to kind of propose. And again, they might not be ready. They might be in a place where mentally they feel like they still need their freedom, they still need their flexibility, right? They mentally, though, they're not ready to be there. And I'm sure we all know people that are married and weren't ready, and that didn't turn out the best, right? Or they figured things out, but readiness, I think, for me, speaks to a mindset. Readiness speaks to a mindset. Now, I know there were a lot of people might be thinking like, well, damn, why did it take you 10 years to propose? Because I wasn't prepared, right? Because I wasn't prepared. So a lot of y'all that know my college journey knows that it took me 7 years to graduate from college, and I met my wife. We started dating toward the end of my sophomore year of college. So at the end of year two. But to me personally, to be prepared uh, to be a husband, to be married, it meant stability financially, right? It meant that was a key thing for me. It meant that I needed to be able to provide. I needed to be able to support myself. You know, I lived with my parents throughout college. I lived with my parents my first year or so out of college, but I knew that I needed to have financial stability. So once I got a job teaching and I held on to that job, I knew like, okay, education is the career path that I'm going to take. And I also knew that financially, it's like, okay, I'm making enough to be able to support myself and be able to make plans to support my significant other, right? But for me, it wasn't a mindset thing. It was all about feeling prepared, right? And for me, that meant finances. So when we think about readiness and when we think about preparedness, I want us to kind of use that as an example and as a baseline, right? You can be completely and 100% mentally ready to get married, right? But not prepared. Maybe that credit score is jacked up. Maybe you haven't had a stable job. Maybe like you're not actually clear on the values, right? You're not clear in terms of the vision that you see for yourself. Maybe y'all aren't on the same page. Maybe y'all aren't set up to get those things. And so there's a difference between being ready, and being prepared. I'm gonna use something else as an example. So recently I went to Denver, Bailey, Colorado to be exact, for a conference with the Charter School Growth Fund, and they brought all of the post-secondary leaders from around the country together. A number of the post-secondary leaders in their portfolio to convene, to meet, to share ideas. And it was cold. It was freezing in Colorado. It's freezing out there. I will never complain about the cold again because I feel like maybe it was 50 today in New Orleans, and the low out there was like low 20s with wind. So definitely no complaints. It's a whole different kind of cold. But anyway, on that trip, I was able to engage with somebody that I would consider definitely a colleague, definitely somebody I look up to. His name is Jabali Saweki. He's one of the founders or the founder of NXU Education, and they do a lot of purpose work. And so he did another purpose workshop at this convening, and we got a chance to chop it up. And we actually went on a hike the last day of the convening. And on the way back, he said something. He mentioned that he takes cold showers. He takes cold showers every day. And I had read about this. Certain people taking cold showers, you know, builds you up mentally. There are a bunch of health benefits. And I feel like I tried it once and was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on the cold shower thing. But hearing him talk about it, and when you actually, you know, you're face to face with somebody that does that, I asked him like, man, like mentally, how did you deal with that? Like, what made you wanna start it? Why do you continue to do it? And he really just broke it down to me again, talking about the mental benefits and health benefits. And also talked about like it's really just the first 30 seconds or so that really stink, that really make it tough. And then after that, it becomes a lot easier. And we were with three other people on this hike, and all of them was like, "Well, good for you, but I'm not taking no cold shower. I'm good. I'm going to enjoy a nice warm shower." But something in my mind, there's something in me that's like, "Wait, hold up. If he could do it, I could do it." And so I pushed myself to actually take a cold shower that day. And the first 30 seconds was horrible. But after that, after you get used, well, not that you ever get accustomed to it, but after you get past the initial shock of cold water hitting your body, it's not as bad. And you realize it's really all mental. You definitely leave feeling more refreshed, more awake, more alive. And it's something that I've tried to continue. I haven't done it every day, but it's something that I've continued. It's something about, and this is what he talked about too, it's something about making a choice to do something that is difficult. It stimulates your mind to make a choice to do something that is difficult and do it relatively immediately. Like, you know, the water is going to be cold, just go ahead and hop in. So you might be thinking, well, what does that have to do with readiness and being prepared? So when I think about taking that cold shower and that hike, mentally I was ready for it because I heard why he did it. I heard about the experience. I also had a different connection with it because I was like, if he can do it, what's different about me? Is there something that's different about me as to why I haven't done it? And I saw it as a challenge. I'm like, nah, if Jabali can do it, I can do it. So mentally, I was ready to be like, I'm gonna take a cold shower today. I'm gonna try this cold shower. Was I prepared? Heck no. Wasn't prepared at all, right? There's nothing you could do to necessarily prepare yourself for a cold shower, right? You just gotta do it. And so again, mentally, I was there. I was ready. I knew I was going to do it once I got back to my room. But once I got in, there was nothing that could have prepared me for that initial shock. And so when we talk about, is your child ready for college? They might be ready, but not prepared. They might be prepared, but not ready. And of course, they could be ready and prepared. Okay, they could be not ready or not prepared. So there's a bunch of different buckets and boats and modes, whatever you want to call it, that they could fall into. But what I want to talk to y'all today about is, what do you do if they're not ready, or to get them ready? And what do you do to get them prepared? So to answer your question, yeah, your child may not be ready or may not be prepared, but there are things you can do right now, whether they're a high school freshman, whether they're a high school senior going into their last semester. There's things you could do now in order to get them ready and get them prepared. So you'll hear the term college readiness, college preparedness. You'll hear those terms thrown out. So let's talk about what it takes to be college ready, what it takes to be prepared for college. So when I think about the mindset, a term we used to use is college going mindset. Does your student believe that college is for them? Do they truly believe that college is for them? And so if you're trying to improve that college going mindset, if you're trying to improve that readiness, right, that mindset and being ready and prepared for college, there has to be a clear why for college. There has to be a clear why for your student in terms of going to college. Do they know why they're going to college? Is it just the next step that they think that they're supposed to take? And that's where I was, right? It was just the thing you were supposed to do after high school. It was the natural next step. You go to high school, you go to college. Do they know their real why for going to college? Do they think that it's necessary to get a good job? Right? And maybe we'll have a conversation about that too. I probably need to write that down. College and preparing for the workforce. But what's their why? Is it to get a job? Is it just because they feel like they have to? Do they feel to go? Maybe they think they have to go because everybody is telling them that they should go, and that's the natural next step for them to take. I want to push you to think about, there's a deeper why when it comes to going to college. There's a deeper why. A huge part of college is making sure that your student understands it's an opportunity to meet new people, and not just meet new people, but understand different ways of thinking, different cultures. It's an opportunity for them to stretch themselves. Your child is gonna learn way more from the environment than the books. Because if I'm keeping it a buck with you, the stuff that they learn in class, when you get into the real world, there's probably a fraction of that you actually apply. There's a fraction of that you actually apply, because things are always changing. There's going to be new things that they have to learn in whatever field that they're going into. So college might give you the foundation, but what helps you to be successful in college is not going to be what helps you to be successful in your career. And so that's not to shy away from like why they shouldn't be getting good grades, but understand that they're going to learn way more from the experience of college than the actual like book knowledge that they get from college. They're going to learn way more from that. So have them think through like, what type of person do they want to be when they see themselves in their 30s, 40s, and 50s? Have them think about like, what type of person do you want to be? Let's not even talk about job. What type of person do you want to be? What type of person do you want to go into? College is kind of, you can look at that as the breeding ground to become that person, to become that professional, right? They could think about it in terms of a professional lens too. But college gives you the breeding ground to like become the next version of yourself. If a lot of us look at the high school version of ourselves in the college version of ourselves, when we look at those two versions, there's two completely different people. Why? Why is if you look at yourself as a high school senior and then you look at yourself as a college senior, why are those two people so different? And for some of us, maybe you're the same, maybe you're the exact same, and that's a different conversation. But those two people being different, the reason why is because the experiences, the things you experienced in college, the things you learned from, the things you grew from, the L's you took, the lessons you learned, those are the things that make you different. It wasn't because you learned this specific thing in a class. That's not what helped you evolve and grow as a person. It's all the experiences. And so you want to have your child and your student think about, what type of person do you want to become? What type of professional do you want to become? And how do you use college as a breeding ground, as a training ground to become that person? They got to learn how to take risks. They got to learn how to grow themselves, right? They got to learn how to honestly take advantage of all those resources, those people, those programs. They got to learn to take advantage of all those things because they're paying for them. So that's one way that you could have them be mentally ready. Have them lock into not just the pieces about getting a job, not just that mindset of feeling like they have to go, but have them understand college is going to help. The experience of college can help catapult you to become the person that you want to be, become the professional that you want to be. But you have to be intentional about taking advantage of opportunities that are going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to require discomfort. Know that. It's going to require discomfort. But as you grow, right, on iron sharpens iron, right? Diamonds have to undergo pressure to become diamonds. And so that's what college can do in terms of their personal development. The other piece in terms of being ready, maybe your student, maybe your child already has a college going mindset. They know college is for them already. They need to stretch in terms of their leadership and social skills. It's the area I see students who are academically capable fall short all the time. They don't know how to talk to nobody. They don't know how to be social. They don't know how to elaborate. They really don't know how to share their thoughts and opinions. They shy up, they shy away, they shrink in those moments where they really have to like either stand on a platform or speak up for themselves. So push them to talk more, to talk to people that they're not usually talking to get up in front of a crowd, get up in front of people, to become a mentor, right? If they're already a leader, push them in those areas, because that's what I see. That's the skill that I see most lacking. And college is going to be opportunity to do those things, but they don't have to wait to college to start. So if your student is already on point, have them grow in those areas. Do they know how to have a conversation? Do they know how to have small talk? Do they know how to use their manners? It's a small thing. Do they say please and thank you? These are small things that go a really, really long way. But if your student thinks that they're already ready for college, have them push themselves in terms of their leadership, their social skills, and their communication. The other thing, and this is something you could push them in terms of their independence. I know we talked about that a little bit last week. Push them to be independent. What are the things that they need to be doing on their own that you're still doing for them? Are they doing their own laundry? Are they ironing their own clothes? Are they making their own lunch? Are they saving money? Are they learning how to budget? They can start to learn how to adult now. What are those things that they need to learn how to do now? Are they scheduling their own doctor's appointments? Right? Are they learning how to call people on the phone? Are they filling up the gas tank? Like, what are the things that they're learning how to do? Are they learning to engage with their boss in a certain type of way? How they handling conflict resolution? Are they taking care of their mental health in a way that they need to? Maybe they need to start therapy or start to do some things to take care of themselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. There's so many things that they can do to build independence and take care of themselves. That's another level. I think that's an area that we could definitely get into one week, is mental health and just taking care of yourself. That's something that is usually the last thing that we worry about, the last thing that students focus on. And so, what if your student admits that they are not ready for college at all? Investigate that. Investigate why. When they say they're not ready, what do they really mean when they say they're not ready? And it could be, what I hear from a lot of students is that they're burnt out. They feel burnt out. I've been in school all this time, right? 12, 13, however many years, and I feel like I need a break. I feel like I need a break. I'm going to do another. I feel like I did one on this maybe last year about how to take a gap year. That's another conversation I might bring back to the forefront. But their mindset around like wanting to take a break. I'm just not ready for college. Or just feeling like academically I'm not prepared for college. And if they feel like they're not ready, listen to that. Like, investigate it, but also mentally, mindsets do a lot in terms of leading to behaviors. So if they feel like they're not ready, ask them, well, what do you feel like you need to be ready? If they're saying time off, time in and of itself is not going to help them to be ready. There's going to have to be things that they do if they decide to take a year off to better prepare their mind to be ready. So have them think through those details. What do you need to be ready? What do you feel like you need to be ready? What do you feel like you don't have that's caused you not to be ready? All right, not to be ready. So those are just a few of the areas, if whether your student feels ready, whether they don't feel ready, or whether you're wondering if they're ready or not, that you can focus on. Now let's move to, and I like to keep these at about 30 minutes. So we're gonna move through this one a little bit quicker. Being prepared is different. Remember, ready is more about the mindset. Ready is more about the will. Being prepared is more about the skill, right? A lot of our high schools, my network of high schools where I work, collegiate academies, we have a class called college success skills, right? A college success class. A lot of schools too have a college success class, and so this is a class that is intended to build up the mindsets, but also build up the skills to be prepared for college. So you might have a student who's ready, you might have a student who's not ready, you might have a student who feels like they're prepared, who's not prepared. Let's talk about some of the things you can do to better prepare your kid, your student, your child for college. I feel like probably the number one thing you can have them do: start reading. They should start reading for leisure. It's no matter what study or what data you look at, students who can read are going to perform better on standardized tests, are going to perform better academically. So you want to practice, you want to have them read, and have them read things. If they love Harry Potter, have them continue to read Harry Potter. If they love reading about sports, have them find a book or a series about sports. If they love reading, I don't know, nonfiction, history, autobiography, whatever they love reading, or if they don't love reading, have them find a topic that they could read about all day. If you're like me, I like reading about money. I like reading about how to make money. I also like reading about mindset. I like reading those type of self-help books. And it's better too to read the physical book, y'all. They should get physical books. I used to be really into audio books, but now I move more to physical books to read. Um, have them start reading more. And you might say, well, my child is in high school and they're struggling with reading, right? They really struggle with reading. I know things could be tight, but it would really, really be good for you to invest in getting them a reading specialist or getting them into a program that can help improve their reading. But if you can't, just have them start at whatever level they're at, right? Maybe what I'll try to do is find some free online reading tests and maybe try to post them in the comments somewhere. But go ahead and just Google free online reading tests, figure out what level they are, and then find books that are at their level. Have them just start there, but then have them increase that level. And I know you might be saying, well, if they can't read now, what's the point in them working? It will help the mindset. It will help the mindset. And we're actually going to kind of get to the preparedness. Some of these things I'm about to get ready to talk about are actually skills, but we don't always think of them like that. And so one thing, again, have them read, have them start reading. If they could have a habit to read for 15 to 20 minutes a day, right? Or 30 minutes a week, whatever habit, whatever routine they can start to build around reading. Shoot, read the Bible, start reading the Bible, get into that word. But they need to start reading, have them read. Because college, if nothing else, they're going to be doing a lot of reading in college. That's one of them bricks that's going to get thrown right at them that first week. Professors are going to give, maybe you might have professors give you a leeway that one day where you're in class 20 minutes and they leave. But after that, the expectation is that you come to that next class having read the first chapter or first couple of chapters, depending on the class. And there's going to be a lot of words that they're not used to, right? Like really start to have them read. So that's one of the first things they can do. You can help your student, your child to do that, to help them be prepared. The next thing you can do to have them be prepared, have them practice asking for help. Whether they think they need it or not, have them practice asking for help. If there's any class that they don't have an A in, they need to go ask for help. If there's any test that they didn't get an A on, go ask for help. I don't care how old it is. Go ask for help. If there's anything that they're struggling in, they need to ask someone for help. There's so many students that I've seen in college, they don't put that pride to the side. They try to figure it out on their own, which I know, again, I'm always pushing for independence and doing things on your own. But part of that needs to be knowing when to ask for help. And there's never a bad time to ask for help. It is really a skill. Don't wait to ask for help. They need to ask early and they need to ask often. So I know where a lot of schools are going to be out the next few weeks, but talk to your child about what's the area you're struggling in. Who can you ask for help? Let's practice asking for help. Set up that time to get the help. That's the other part. Don't just ask for help. Set up the time to get the help. Set up the time to get the help. And so that's another area that will make even the students that are on the honor roll, the students that are in the honors college, the students that graduate top of their class, I guarantee you they ask for help. I guarantee you they're not doing things on their own. They're asking for help. And they're doing it early and often. Why? Because they realize it makes the path easier. Why am I going to work harder to try to figure this out on my own when I could just link up with the professor, link up with another student, link up with a study group, find this resource online that's going to help me. Helping yourself is all about making the road easier and helping you to become better, helping you to be stronger. So help them think about where they can ask for help. The next thing, I got two more things for you. The next thing is have them set goals. Have them create a plan to hit that goal and then have them create a strategy to hold themselves accountable. Set goals, create a plan, hold yourself accountable to that plan. Tweak where you need to tweak, but that's something that I see students, they don't learn from their mistakes. They'll go the whole semester doing the same thing over and over and over again. Eric Thomas has this great quote: don't be mad at the results you didn't get because of the work you didn't put in. Don't be mad at the results you didn't get because of the work you didn't put in. If you failed the class, did you do anything to shift? Did you prioritize the time that was needed? Right? Set goals Set goals and then prioritize your time to hit them. Prioritize how you're going to spend your time to hit them. The things that you focus on, you get better at. The things that you prioritize your time at or time with, you get better at. So they got to learn how to set goals. And of course, I think it's easiest probably to do this with your academics, especially if they're in their senior year or maybe the ACT is something. Have them create a goal, help them create a plan, and then hold them accountable. Help them to assess and tweak that plan. Because in college, you're going to need to do that. You're going to be balancing classes. They could be working either on campus or off campus. Of course, they still have a family and a social life. They're going to need to balance all those things, but they're going to need to prioritize. The social stuff cannot come first. That's what tripped me up. That's what caused me to lose my scholarship in college. Is in my freshman year, I prioritized academics first and foremost. Now, I didn't have much of a social life, so that's not healthy either. But I prioritized academics where I had a 3.2 GPA after my freshman year. By the end of my sophomore year, I felt like my GPA dropped below a 2.5. It was low. I was failing classes. I was dropping classes. It's because I was prioritizing being social way more, and I deprioritized completely the academics. And something that's important to learn, especially when your students are creating a plan or creating a goal, setting a goal around academics, studying in high school and studying in college is two different things. If your student gets A's and B's easily in high school, I guarantee you it won't be that easy for them. You're going to have to put in work to get A's and B's in college. So when they create that academic goal, have them create a real plan, right, around how often am I studying? What days am I studying? How am I studying? How am I getting feedback? Because those are the things that are going to lead to success in college. Maybe, and let's say, okay, like your student, actually the way that the tests are constructed in college are really easy. Have them become a tutor. Start to teach other people. Right? If you're really trying to push, maybe you already have an A in chemistry in high school. Maybe you already have an A in math in pre-cal. Talk to that professor or talk to your teacher, your high school teacher, about like, hey, actually, can I come after school and help teach students? Because that will force them to get even stronger at that subject area. And that's a gem. That's a nugget. That's a nugget. And I don't know how many high school students already do that, right? Tutor other high school students in that subject, because it's going to force you to activate those skills that are really going to see, like, do you really know this? Or are you just good? Are you just good at having test taking skills? But you could also have them create goals that are more personal, right? Maybe they want to get out of this shell. Maybe they want to be more outgoing. Maybe they want to be more confident. You can still set goals around those same things. You can still create a plan. You can still hold yourself accountable. Maybe they want to get involved, but setting a goal, creating a plan, and helping to hold them accountable to that plan is going to be huge. That if you have that skill, it's going to make you better prepared in college, because it's something you have to do all the time. And then the last thing, and I kind of spoke to this already, learn to be social. Be social. Learn to talk to people. Learn to have conversations. It could be something as simple as in the grocery store when you're checking out, have a small conversation with the cashier, right? But they have to learn how to be social. Get them involved in social organizations. Have them get away from that crew of students, their group of friends that they're so used to hanging with. Go to new events in the city. Talk to people, right? That's something I see students stating themselves, and they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of, well, what if they say this, or what if they don't? It still could happen, right? You could still get rejected, but it's overcoming that fear. There's nothing to fear but fear itself, right? And really, what is rejection, right? What really is rejection? And so think about how they can grow that social skill, how they can just learn to talk to people. How can they learn to speak more clearly? How can they learn to communicate themselves more clearly? Right? These are things and opportunities. How can they learn to be better presenters? Right? Better communicators. Those are all things that can help them to be successful in college. So I hope that y'all took something from this. I hope that there was something valuable. A few things I want to mention. If you want to be part of a community of parents who are invested in their children's success, I want you to type the word community in the comments. I want you to type the word community in the comments. I have a private Facebook group for parents who want to learn more, who want to be a resource to each other, who want to have questions answered. I can answer your questions more directly in this Facebook group. Go ahead and let me know. Drop the word community in the comments, and I'm gonna go ahead and send you that information to join the Facebook community. The other thing that I'm happy, excited to announce is that my book is finally finished. My book is finally finished. So wrote a book. It's actually at the print shop now. It should be ready to print. I'm waiting for the sample to come in just to verify that everything looks good, and then we're gonna be ready to ship it out. So shout out to all those people, all my friends, all my family who bought a book, who bought it when I was doing a pre-sale. But I wrote a book called Grind to Grad: 10 Keys to Fun, Freedom, and Finishing Your Degree, and it really breaks it down. Here's what your child, your student, your kid needs to know if they want to be successful and graduate college. And what I love about this book is that it doesn't just focus on the technical skill. I do address a lot of the being prepared for college. Here's the things you need to do to fully prepare yourself. And this book is good whether you're already in college or whether your student is a freshman in high school. It's never too early to start. A lot of the things in the book you can apply whether you're in college already or whether you're not in college. And honestly, if even if you have no intention on going to college, there's a lot of great things that you can learn from the book. But it focuses on not just the preparedness, but it focuses on the readiness. It focuses on the mindset. How do you build the mindset? It's full of questions that will really push them to think, to reflect, and to take action. And it's also full of resources. It's full of resources for students to help them throughout. So I want y'all to get the book. I want y'all to get the book. It's a great book. I think it's going to do great things for students. It really was the type of book that I wish I would have had in college. I probably would have graduated a lot sooner. It wouldn't have taken me 12 years. But I really think this is the type of book that will really help to transform not just your students' mindset, but their skill set. It's going to help to build both at the same time. I kind of like to think of this book as, for me, what the book Think and Grow Rich did for my mindset around money and generating wealth. This book is going to do the same thing for students who think they want to go to college, who know they want to go to college. It is going to really, it's going to just expand their mind. It's going to push them. It's going to affirm them. It's going to validate them. It's going to have them question things, but it's going to help build the mindset and the skill. So definitely go ahead and get the book today. If you want the book, just type book in the comments. Type book in the comments. And I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to buy the book. I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to buy the book. So we're going to be bringing these back every Sunday. I know next Sunday is Christmas, so we're not going to do a session, but y'all, I'm going to keep these things coming. If there are any topics that you want to hear about, that you want me to talk about, go ahead and drop that in the comments. So community, drop that in the comments if you want to be a part of an awesome parent group community. If you want the book, Grind to Grad, go ahead and drop the book. And also, of course, I might as well have a shameless plug. So we got the I'm Gonna Graduate hoodie. It's a mindset, y'all. This is the thing I had to tell myself to in order to be able to get through those 7 years of college. So we got the I'm Gonna Graduate hoodie. If you want that, put hoodie in the comment, right? And if you get the book and a hoodie, I got a bundle package for you. So appreciate y'all time. Hope that y'all enjoy this next week. Enjoy, have a happy and safe holiday season. For all my educators that have the next couple of weeks off, if you're in K-12 or even if you're in higher ed, I know you're going to get a couple of extra days off. Y'all keep working hard. Take that time for yourself. Take that time to recharge and reset. Y'all work really hard. The work that we do is hard. Parents, the work that y'all do is hard. Make sure you take time to yourself. So appreciate it. Thank y'all. Have a happy and safe holiday season. I'll talk to y'all soon.